Darwin'S game is actually good. I'm as surprised as anyone. Going into this after seeing the rather poorly done clips of animation and people's low opinions, I was ready for a complete train wreck, so I fastened my seatbelt and got ready to enjoy the crash. Then, something miraculous happened. The first episode wasn't that bad. A little all over the board with clear weaknesses being held together by some shiny polish and quicker pacing, but still, it certainly wasn't something to be put directly into the bad category. However, as I kept watching, something more astounding happened. The series actually continued to improve from its starting point, resulting in an enjoyable romp through a series with interesting points that drown out the weaknesses. Let's talk about what makes Darwin'S game good. With the overly used setting of the death game mixed with an abundance of anime tropes, the viewing experience isn't exactly unique. It becomes evidently clear though that the cliches the series employs are actually being used for their intended purpose. A quick writing crash course on cliches. Their intended purpose is for writers to reach for in order to flesh out parts of the story that aren't the focal point, but nevertheless are still needed. In both the cases of the setting and characters, the use of tropes work, because they facilitate the more interesting aspects of the narrative. Let's take the setting. It's what you can find in over 1,000 other series without deviation. However, the reason it's there is twofold. Of course, to have the story actually happen. More importantly though, it is there for the writer to tackle the concept of the point system, introducing a more fleshed out new concept built upon the familiar entrappings of the old one. Adding this dynamic of needing more points to have an advantage, but needing to take more risks to receive them, which in return require more points to succeed. This, along with other systems, show a very clear side of the writing. It lacks experience and skill, but has interesting concepts and extensive detail to do the heavy lifting instead. Take the power system. Like most battle series, we're introduced to a power system that gives each character a power set unique-ish to them, meaning every encounter needs to have its own unique way of playing out. This requires far more time for a less experienced writer to pull off, but the results equal a chance at having a unique and interesting counter during every story beat. The divide in these powers are all over the board though. Let's take one of the main cast. They have the ability to foresee events before they happen. Seems rather strong, until you compare it to a physical power, such as, I don't know, the ability to move faster than light and instantly kill your opponent. It appears the powers scale from overpowered to overwhelming, except then you have a guy that can see in the dark, or a human lie detector, to which these powers are more so used as a way to have scenes happen rather than as an interesting aspect of the series itself. This again is one of those things where I'm unsure if I should praise it or berate it. The powers often are a fallback as to write scenes out without having to put as much effort in. A character arc about opening up and trusting others sure is easy to do if they can tell if people are lying. It also sure is easy to write a human computer character, if they are actually just a regular person with the power to memorize and retrieve information like a computer. Again though, I don't want to call this bad, because each of these scenes work for what they are going for. It's just the writing doesn't take that final step to make it actually compelling and settle for just interesting. Enough of that, let's circle back to the characters again. There is nothing really to be said about them when it comes to the character as a whole. However, when you laser focus in on particular aspects of the character, you start to find unique traits. Taking Analyst as an example, she was given a character quirk of quoting incredibly obscure historical factoids as to sound smart and intimidating. This comes across terribly, as it will always do. In it, though, is the attempt at portraying the fear-inducing intelligence character trait, which in of itself is a good one that I am rather fond of. However, the way this trait is properly attributed is by having a character talk less, not more. Instead of monologuing endlessly about other people's accomplishments in order to narrowly influence someone else, as seen in Darwin'S game, instead the point is to have a character say only one or two words that shake a person to their core. That is what a real fear of intelligence is like. You can have a cartoony representation of this fear, but that is a completely different type of writing than what a straightforward series like this would employ. However, what if I said that was the point? That the Analyst was actually just a scared girl that was given a power that makes her appear smarter than she is. That she is playing into this persona as an intelligent, mature adult, but having no idea what makes you any of those things. Instead, she quotes obscure factoids and talks endlessly in an intimidating way as to talk down to others, all in order to appear smarter than she is, while clearly displaying to the world that she actually has no idea what she is doing. Now, obviously, the series is nowhere near that clever, and it's simply the author doesn't know how to write intelligent characters. This is one of those things, though, where you can quickly see if a series gets enough love and care, then the whole can start to resemble something better than its individual pieces. And if anything, that is what the series has. Beyond the tonal whiplash, nonsensical moments, its glancing over important details, and inconsistent portrayal of the world and characters within it, is a series with a lot of labor and love put into it. It screams, I just want to write about cool things happening thing, and I'll try to justify it the best I can. And with its faults, the original creator is really trying their best to deliver a story above themselves. And the anime adaptation manages to elevate some of those concepts into an enjoyable package. With all that it has going for it, in spite of its flaws, I would still say Darwin'S game is undoubtedly good. Hello everyone, it's me, the man who makes the videos. I'm here to say one thing only. Like, comment, subscribe, ring the bell, follow me on Twitter, give me 5 stars on Yelp, use my Amazon referral link, make sure to give my works 5 stars, and sub to my other channels. Or don't. I don't really care. Instead, you can just go out and watch some good anime. Then maybe come back and watch my videos on it. Thanks for the viewership. Bye.